Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the most important question many of the 12th standard students face. What after class 12? Engineering opens up a world of opportunities, but the career landscape is vast and sometimes confusing. So in the next 30 minutes, I will guide you all through the government jobs, private careers, entrepreneurship, trending fields, and even real life inspirations. By the end, you will have a clear roadmap to make and informed choices for your future. So, before we talk about careers, let us address a key concern: funding education. Scholarships are available at multiple levels. This funding is an important part, which is a burden on the parents. So, the students should know about these things and look into it, and especially those parents who are not have the access to such information. The student should be able to help them out, and you can get scholarships from National Scholarship Portal, scholarships.gov.in, community scholarships for BC, NBC, SC, ST, special scholarship for girls and underprivileged students, and even bank loans through Vijayalakshmi portal. Websites like Buddy for Study and also um, do help in these scholarship area. Remember, financial limitation should not stop your dreams. So a lot of scholarships are available, just because of our ignorance that we are not able to get it. So engineering is more than just 4 years of classes. It is about skill development, internships, projects, and adaptability. The world is changing, so your career plan should too. Instead of following the crowd, choose a branch that matches your strengths. You know, you have to match your strength. For that, you have to get career guidance from a registered or trained person in that area. So math or dominant courses, engineering is all about maths, and especially when it comes to CSIT, AI, data, electronics, your math skills should be really good. If you're in physics, the mechanical, civil, aero, and production would be a better choice for you. Chemistry dominant area, of course, chemical engineering, petrochemical, textiles, things like that. You need to focus. Biology dominant, if you are good in that, still you can go do engineering like biotech, biomedical, food tech, and things like that. This clarity is needed and will help you set in the right direction. The core branches in the career landscape are ECE, EEE, mechanical, civil, CSC, and IT. These are the base core engineering, and all other things are an offshoot of this. So, when it comes to ECE, there are plenty of job opportunities in government organizations like ISRO, DRDO, BEL, BHEL, railways. All right, and then coming to private telecom, chip designing, custom electronics, IoT startups. These are all plenty of companies are there in private sector. Entrepreneurship is another area. A lot of people are now getting into startups, and a lot of government fundings and things are happening. So those areas to be looked into by the people with the entrepreneurship bent is robotics, embedded system, 5G, 6G research, things like that. Now coming to electrical electronics, similarly in the government side we have NTPC, power grid, railways, and state electricity boards, and the private renewable energy, EV companies, smart grids. So much is happening in these areas when it comes to private sector. Entrepreneurship is, as I said, is one area nowadays students are really looking at. They don't want to go work for someone. So solar startup EVs, in solar startups, EV charging, power electronics are those areas where entrepreneurs can look into. Government and the railways are good for mechanical engineers, DRDO, ISRO, ONGC, and mechanical engineers are really needed in automobile, aerospace, robotics, 3D printing, name it. Mechanical is the um, building block. Entrepreneurship area comes small scale SMEs, MSMEs, design firms are all for mechanical engineers if they are into entrepreneurship. Civil, as you know, all these things have to be inside a building. So civil is the base of everything. Government area of work will be CPWD, PWD, MES, railways are all for government jobs. Private real estate, infrastructure, smart cities are all booming now. India is on a tremendous growth path. So without civil engineering, nothing is going to happen. Entrepreneurship, obviously construction startups and consultancy. Now coming to CSE, the government areas are NIC, biggest portal, DRDO, ISRO, banking and IT systems for the government. Private, name it, we are everywhere. Infosys, TCS, Google, Microsoft, AI, FinTech, and are all there. So coming now to the startup part, software products, freelancing, AI and blockchain research are another area where students can look into. These are the major areas. Now coming into the trending fields of engineering, across all branches, new fields are booming. And with CS, we have AI and data science. In electric area, electric vehicles and battery tech, renewable energy and sustainability. You know, sustainability is the magic word. Whatever you produce, whatever you do, think and see that whether it is sustainable. Smart cities and infrastructure, space technology, health tech and bioinformatics, when people with biology background want to pursue. These are areas where future jobs will multiply. You know, upskilling and online learning. Your degree is just like the foundation. Upskill with platforms like Coursera, Udemy, Upgrade, and LinkedIn Learning. Focus on projects and internship and networking. These online courses, you need to look at from where it is delivered. So, who is teaching it? You have to be careful while learning online. The more skills you add, the more employable you become. So, that is the main thing with respect to additional thing along with your 4-year degree course. So before you finish that, see that you upskill yourself in certain areas where there is a need. Once you reach 3rd year, 4th year, you will know what is trending then, and those things should be added on to your resume. Let's talk about real stories here. Let's talk about the real stories of Bhavish Agarwal, who co-founded Ola Cabs. After a bad taxi experience, today Ola is a giant in mobility and EVs. Or Byju's Ravindran's, the edtech firm, which really skyrocketed. So passion and the global market is the happening thing now. These show how engineers with vision can create billions of dollars. There are so many unicorns in India now. The startups by these young budding engineers, many have made it really big in this thing. So future technology, according to the World Economic Forum, the future will be shaped by structural battery composites for EVs and aircrafts. So this is one area where it is predicted that 50% or even more than that will be EV vehicles by 2030, 35. So there is a huge demand in the battery efficiency, and also what to do with this e-waste, these batteries when used. So um, there is a big research going on in these areas with respect to EVs. Students who focus on these areas have umpteen opportunities when it comes to work or to be an entrepreneur doing startups. So find a solution. I Even now they have started. I've seen so many small-time entrepreneurs fixing batteries which are not being able to be fixed by the companies themselves, converting the existing petrol-driven cars to EVs. So EV is one thing which is going to be there for another 2 decades, and it's a sunrise industry. And those who are interested, the best part is anybody can get into this with the mechanical, electrical background. Um, then comes renewable energy. That is another area with sustainability development goals, the carbon footprint. So all this fossil fuels and those kind of things has to be totally eradicated, and we have to go for clean and green energy. That area is booming like anything. So renewable energy is one area where all the engineers are focusing to bring about change in the solar technology, wind turbines, even tidal from the oceans. So there is so much happening with respect to the future technologies, with AI coming into play, robotics, biotechnology, and convergence. I would say engineering, living therapeutics for healthcare. The entire branches are all merging into one, where it is all interconnected. Biotechnology, AI, electrical, electronics, computers. We need everybody in this game to make it really, really accessible technology for the common man. It will really ease the life of common man. The future is so bright. And the way the AI is doing into cars driving without drivers, and things like that. So main thing is the passion and energy that you bring into learning this engineering. So what is life? Life is all about problem solving. So the bigger the problem, the bigger the challenge, you will be able to make more. The bigger the problem or the challenge you solve, the remuneration is equally high and challenging. So this is where I want the engineering community to really work towards solutions which are sustainable and what do you say, in the sense not only for profits but for the well-being of the planet is what is the need of the hour. And these technologies are getting there, and if we use this generative AI and things like that, I see a future which is beautiful. And I see our engineers, everyone will have a job if the way things go now, if we know how to use these tools, how you master these tools, and the speed at which things are delivered. So all these things are helping us to expedite the process. So our budding engineers should really, really look at using these technologies in the right way so that it can take off the all 17, take care of all the 17 SDGs. No poverty. Look at biotechnology. The way the food has to be produced. When we look at World Health Organization reports, the way in which the population grows, there will be shortage for food. There will be, so even I read about knowing things like so many insects have been included in the edible list. So just to see that people don't go hungry. So with this biotechnology and this latest AI advantages, we can really expedite the process of making minerals and vitamins and micronutrients, and the poverty can be really eradicated. The scale at which you can solve these problems are amazing, and think of quantum computing and things like that, which is the future. I see a future which is so bright that you don't really have to be bothered. There will be problems, there will be people who use these technologies for the war and the dark web and things like that. But then again, I believe that this will really um, take us to a golden era. That is for sure. And the challenges that we are going to face, we will face. That is the norm of the day. When there is good, there is bad. So mm, humble request to the students is to be on the right track. See that you focus on doing business or work ethically. Ethics is, values are part of our humanity. Like, otherwise we would just become there is no differentiation between good and bad. So the engineers should work with ethics and see not just the bottom line of profits, but is it helping the humankind? Where are we going with this technology? Any engineer, if asked to do something destructive, I would ask them to politely disagree on them and move on and find your own path. I have seen so many brilliant heads resigning from OpenAI and companies like that, fearing that these things could really damage our future. So that should be the motto on which we should be working, that ethics is the number one thing when it comes to the profession. So engineers, whoever it is, whatever branch you are doing, my dear students, my dear friends, see that you work out of ethics. There are numerous examples. I can't get the names of a few of the scientists when World War II, when they were asked to produce certain kind of bombs in England by the Churchill. They refused, and they were even arrested for that. But they were so strong that they didn't go with the government for bad things. So such past is there in us. So we need to look at things like what do you call values. Are we value driven? Are we looking at just not the profits? So this convergence of AI, robotics, biotechnology should really help in making all those issues which we have now to become obsolete. It should be a planet where there is abundance. there is no scarcity for anything which is good. That should be the uh, real aim for every engineer who watches this video, where if they take up engineering, and not only engineering, any branch, this is how I will work, where I won't cut corners, I won't do anything which is not legal. This is what should be the area of focus when it comes to building a society. Um, you have to really think what has happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, what has happened to those D-Day when the atomic bombs were used. So we have such similar conditions with bombs which are even million times stronger than those fat boy used at that time. But if we don't have ethics and values, there is a chance that we can go back to Stone Age. So engineers should have the tenacity, the what do you call, they should have the grit to stay righteous. This is a request from me, so that you can build a better future. The generation which is going to come, the young ones, what is a legacy you are going to leave for the future? That is very, very, very important. So students, engineering is not just about getting a degree. This is the major part which I talked about, is about values and ethics. That is the need of the hour, because the way in which the technology goes, there will be a point of time where we can just sit quiet and robots doing everything. All you have to do is manage the mind, and the economy will be so good. Fundamentally, the government will be providing us a universal basic income. So only those who are very desirous and who are very ambitious will be working on projects. Others can be traveling around the world, because it will become so cheap. Airfares, travel, virtual reality. So the golden period, Satyuga, or as we say in our Hindu tradition, that is going to really happen. I could see that happening. I am a firm believer. Myself, I have trained so many students. I've been a principal for a decade for an international school in Udmalpet. So this is the basic thing I teach my students: sustainability development goals. They have did this project way back in 2015. My students know about SDGs back then. My teachers were made to write up, give an exam and get trained in SDGs by Microsoft. So all our teachers, when I was a principal, they took up this online test, and they know about SDGs. My students now, they're doing engineering. I'm sure I've sown a seed of such values and ethics to them. And I drive a old car, Ambassador, those days. So students used to come and ask me. There was few who even liked that car, because it was very hard to see nowadays. So I prefer, in reducing the carbon footprint, we use public transport, and we live here without air conditioning. Udmalpet is a place called Wind City. It's very cold, poor man's Ooty. So there is no need for air conditioning. We don't have a fridge. For last 15 years, we've been living without a refrigerator, TV. So these are all to reduce the carbon footprint. The base, the little bit I can do to make this planet green. So this is a request to all those who are watching this video. Let us focus on the goals and see that we reach at least 50 to 60% by 2030, the vision of SDG. Before that, we need to see that inequality, gender equality, all those things should be a norm of the day, and that should be through the engineers using technology effectively. They should see that the apps which are developed is for the security of women, children, and so much can be done with these technologies so that everyone feels safe to be in this beautiful planet. So it is possible, it is definitely we can achieve this through engineers. I myself am an engineer, electrical and electronics from Kumaraguru, Coimbatore, and then moved on to Australia to do my MBA. Have worked around the globe. Now in Nurmalpet, just helping and guiding students. So Pick My Career will be a game changer for me, I know, so that I've gained so much knowledge through this program. Thanks to the entire team of Pick My Career, to Ashok and Lakshmi, the trainers who did a great job to bring in this knowledge and wisdom onto us. So engineers, it is all about building your path, whether you choose government service, private sector, or entrepreneurship. No matter what you choose, the opportunities are endless. There is so much challenges out there. We engineers can really fix it, whether in the government service or private sector, research and entrepreneurship. The only thing you must bring is clarity, curiosity, and courage. That is what I want the future engineers to have. Clarity in the vision. What is that I want out of life? The curiosity to challenge the challenge. How do I make it effective? How do I make it simple? How do I make it affordable? How do I make it accessible? Should be your thought process, and you should have the courage to challenge the status quo, be it the government, be it the whatever red tape you have to face. I want you engineers to really be courageous in dealing with these red tape and see that your vision is brought out, a vision for a bright Bharat, bright Loka, Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. This is, we shouldn't confine ourselves to this small piece of peninsula. Our thought process should be for the entire universe. You know, I've heard of garbage happening in the space with all these space technology, with all the plastics and rubbish which we find it very difficult to segregate, and we are kind of spoiled this planet. The same thing is happening up above. There is so much garbage, space garbage, you know, from the satellites and things happening. So bring about change in these areas. Remember, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Have that vision. Future belongs to those who prepare it today. Thank you.